seconds to go. One last gasp for Edmonton. Bouchard's pass didn't click with Draisaitl. 12 seconds to go. Florida trying to end it up against the wall, which would be fitting. 3 seconds to go. The Florida Panthers have won the Stanley Cup. For the first time in their 30-year history, the Florida Panthers are Stanley Cup champions. They made it about as hard on themselves as they possibly could, battling a valiant Edmonton team that had rallied from adversity all season long. And Paul Maurice, coaching lifer, 30 years in the National Hockey League, has his Stanley Cup.
What the puck is going on?
Here's your host of What the Puck is Going On, Dave Metzger.
All right, welcome back in another Tuesday, another nice NHL slate. 8 games tonight. Steve, we've got the NFL in our rear view. It's Tuesday again, time to focus on some hockey. So how are you after this weekend?
Oh, man, I'm looking forward to a nice, fun slate tonight and a little bit lighter than what we've had the previous couple of Tuesdays with a little bit heavier of a Monday slate. And the games over the weekend were good. How about 4 overtimes, Dave? We talk about it all the time, but on Friday night, all 4 games go to overtime. In fact, there's been someone out there, I heard this, that he's been playing every game blindly to go to overtime. And with the odds, he's up like 51 units.
Wow.
On the season.
Oh, wow.
So there have been that many close hockey games. I didn't realize we've had that many overtime games.
You know, Steve, we have had quite a few, and maybe that's one area that we're slacking a little bit. You know, we last year we played some joint overtime tickets, and we haven't done that. And it's always every time I see it, Steve, at least for me, it's 3-1 or better for some overtime.
Right.
So maybe we need to start looking at those kinds of things. So again, a decent little slate tonight. We'll get into that here in a second. Steve, we'll go over the standings, and then I'll get you to touch on some injuries if there are any additions. So, Steve, let's go in the Atlantic. Boston still in first place, 24 points. Detroit with 23, tied with Montreal. So those are your 2 and 3 battling it out teams right there. Ottawa right behind them with 22. Florida, that is the Panthers with 21. Tampa's right behind them with 20. So the 2 Florida teams right there next to each other. How about this? Toronto towards the bottom of this bracket. What a rough start for them. 18 points and actually tied, Steve, with Buffalo at the bottom. I think it's more of the same of what we kind of saw last Tuesday here on the show. But, Steve, let's touch a little bit here. What is going on with Toronto at the bottom of the bracket?
I mean, we talked about how they're just leaky on defense in a bad way, man. They've now kind of shut it down a little bit on offense, and here they are. They've free fall to the bottom of the standings here. And, yeah, I was looking at the standings today. And, I mean, just almost in shock on the other side of things, Dave, with Boston. Boston's in first place now.
Right.
They were in last place when we started the season for the first couple of shows. We're like, man, how bad is Boston? And here they are, top of the Atlantic.
And Boston is a team coming into the season, Steve, at least for myself, and some of the research that I was doing to try and get prepared a little bit. anyway to see how the season was going to go. And they were slated to be down there at the bottom, so play has picked up for them. But I'm telling you what, there's really not much separation in this division right now. So we'll see how long that holds for. Let's jump into the Metro. We have the Devils leading this with 27, but they're tied currently with Carolina in the second spot. Pittsburgh, who I have a really nice number in the futures with, at 24 points. So
hanging in there. They're hanging
in there.
Yep.
Not far behind, you have the Islanders with 22, Columbus with 22, and the New York Rangers with 22. Then you have Philly with 21, and Steve, our Caps here at the bottom of the bracket with 20. A little surprising there. And it's not like they've really been playing bad. Their defense is, I think, maybe even a top 5 unit in the NHL. I mean, it is really stout back there. Steve, they just haven't been scoring goals, plain and simple.
Yeah, they're averaging like right at 2.5 goals a game.
That's not going to get it done.
Not going to get it done. Only 3 wins in their last 10. So definitely struggling. Look at the Rangers now, 7-3 in their last 10. So they've started to have some sort of a surge here. And it started on the road when everything looked bleak for them, too. A couple road trips back. And here they are now battling and contending every night. The Islanders, 6-3-1 in their last 10. And we talked about them being somewhat of a sneaky over team, and they're still trending that way. And then, Carolina's strong. New Jersey strong, too. I wonder how the Jack Hughes injury, we'll talk about the injuries in a minute. The Jack Hughes injury will affect them here for a couple of months. The Devils sitting in first, tied with the Hurricanes right now. Can they hold on without their superstar will be their main question.
Right. And so my next question here for the Metro as well in this landscape, can this be sustained by Pittsburgh, do you think? And think about this. They have some injuries right now to some key players. So as well as they're doing, it could get a little bit better for them, a team that we thought was going to be at the bottom. So again, my question here, Steve, is can this be sustained from Pittsburgh, do you think?
So the teams in the East have it a lot better off than these teams in the West from top to bottom. And we talked about the Atlantic kind of being out of proportion, but still at the end of the day, the Maple Leafs and the Sabres are only 6 points out of first place.
Right.
That has nothing to overcome. And the Capitals, if you look on it from their point of view, they're just 7 points out of first place. That's completely doable. And, it might sound like a little bit now, but our Norfolk Admirals, Dave, locally, when they went on that infamous 28-game win streak.
Right.
And route to the Calder Cup, 28 regular season wins. That started right before Christmas time, and they were sitting 6 or 7 points back. And by the time it was early January, they were in first place.
Right.
So it doesn't take long.
No, Steven. If you recall, 2019, St. Louis Blues win the Stanley Cup. You know what was happening with them at Christmas? They were the worst team in the league.
Right.
I mean, at the bottom of the whole thing,
right.
they catch fire and they go on to win a Stanley Cup. So the moral of that story is anything could happen right now.
You're probably getting good numbers on some of these teams for longer shots to come back and do something incredible. In fact, we can probably look at the futures.
Yeah,
see what we got. We probably have some crazy ones.
Oh yeah, we will definitely touch on that because I think we're going to get some good numbers right now. I don't think this stays this way, Steve. So we'll see what happens there in the East. We'll jump to the West. In the Central, we have Colorado with 31 points. That's going to be the most in the league. Steve, we touched on it off air. 1 regulation loss for Colorado. 19 games played. How about that?
That's incredible. And they've won 6 in a row here. And it's amazing because you think that as good as a start that they've had, they would be far ahead of the pack. And they are to some extent. But even Dallas is kind of nubbing at their heels a little bit.
Right.
So Dallas, even through their struggles that they had, maybe in the last week or two on this show, we were down on them a little bit. Here they are, winners of 5 in a row and in second place now. Both of these teams have been fantastic. Colorado, yes, if you're betting against Colorado in regulation, you need to stop.
You just don't do it. Is the statement there? Just
do
don't
not
do
take their opponent on the 60-minute line.
it. Don't ever do that right now. Dallas has 27 points. Winnipeg with 22. Chicago with 22. So they're right up there as well. Utah has 22. Minnesota has 22. Then you have St. Louis and Nashville with 16. So still some interesting things to be seen in the Central for sure. In the Pacific, we have Anaheim with 25. LA has 24.
First place, Anaheim.
Right. First place, Anaheim Ducks. I didn't think we'd be saying that, but we are at the moment. LA second, 24. Seattle third place. I didn't think we'd be saying that either with 23. Vegas has 22. Edmonton has 22. Then you have Vancouver with 20 and San Jose with 19. And then there's Calgary with their lonely 5 regulation wins with 13 points. Steve, it's interesting in the Pacific as well.
So how about this? The Ducks have a plus 10 goal differential. Vegas in fourth place has a plus 4. Everybody else is in the negative. Now, you don't think that sounds like much, but you got to go all the way back now to the Atlantic and the Eastern Conference. The Bruins have an even goal differential, Dave. Everyone else in that division has a negative goal differential.
Wow. I'm telling you what, the Atlantic is super tight right now. I think it's going to be that way throughout the season. That's my prediction anyway. So, Steve, let's touch on some injuries, and then we'll get into the slate here, see what we can find.
Yeah, how about the Kings surging, too? When they were off to a disappointing start, and here they are now sitting in second here in the Pacific.
Also a very good defensive team, too.
Yep. You're wondering if they're going to regress a little bit defensively. And nope, here they are. They're giving up just not quite 3 goals a game. The problem is they can't score again. Same problem they had last year.
Right.
But the Kings have been a dead under team now for the most part, with that under 5.5 being the average now for their goals per game. So, can we take a look at a couple more of those, Dave?
Yeah.
The spread over unders.
Absolutely.
So let's see here. Updated on the over unders. Let's see if we can get. Oh yeah. All right. Here we go. So here are your teams to the extreme over unders. Let's do unders first. The Blackhawks have played 6 games over, 12 under. Avalanche 8 over, 11 under. So more of a defensive team than you would think.
Right.
Capitals 8 over, 11 under. The Rangers 7 games over, 13 games under. The Predators 8 games over, 12 games under. And let's see. That's going to be the notable ones for the unders. For the overs, a few more candidates here. 12-8 to the over are the Flames. 16-5 to the over are the Canucks. 16-5.
Wow.
12-7 are the Islanders. Hurricanes 11-8. The Senators are 12-7 to the over. The Canadians are 13-6 to the over. The Maple Leafs are 16-3 to the over. 16 of the 19 games for the Maple Leafs have gone over the total. How about that?
That is crazy.
The Oilers are 12-9 to the over. Teams against the spread, and that's basically just is that covering the puck line, I guess?
Yeah.
Is what that would be. Blackhawks 15-3 covering the puck line. How about that?
That's impressive.
Penguins 15-4. That could be -1.5 or +1.5.
Right.
Depending if they're a dog or a favorite. Bruins 15-6. Kraken 14-4. Sharks 13-6. Blue Jackets 12-7. Flyers 11-7. Ducks 11-8. Avalanche 11-8. Red Wings 11-8. The teams that can cover the puck line or the reverse puck line, Stars 7-12. Senators, Canadians, both 7-12. The Lightning and Golden Knights are 6-12. Blues, Maple Leafs 6-13, and the Panthers 6-13, and the Oilers 6-15 against the puck line.
Wow!
And so they're a favorite in most games. And basically, if they're winning by a goal, is what that's telling you.
Yeah, they're winning close.
So interesting numbers there, right?
Absolutely.
But the main thing is Toronto on these over-unders. And we do have Toronto tonight against
St. Louis.
St. Louis. And let's see, St. Louis, just because I don't think we went over their number, because if they're going to be about halfway, we kind of left it alone. 11-8 to the over. So that tells you right there that game's impossible over.
Yeah, and at the number it's sitting at, too, when we'll get to that when we get there, but it's definitely possible.
All right, injury-wise, let me cue those up. All right, let's see what we got. All right, this is the daily. Let me see if I can get a team up here.
I don't know how much more injuries were added. I don't think it was too many, really.
Charlie McAvoy, he's going to be out short term, so he's going to be added to the list here. Victor Arvidsson, Elias Lindholm, all short term injuries for the Bruins right now. Buffalo, a fairly injured team. They got 6 guys on the injured list. Jason Zucker among those. They're listing him as sick, but he was on the list last week as well. So something's going on with him. Calgary healthy. Carolina relatively healthy. Kakanemi should be back here in a week or so. Chicago, Tyler Bertuzzi, Nick Foligno. Let's see. You'd like to have those guys back, which they will eventually. Nothing long term there. Colorado, 5 injuries to report. Columbus has a trio of injuries. Dallas is a banged up team. Thomas Harley now out. Matt Duchene out. Let's see. Lundqvist is out. So that kind of scares me. I kind of like Dallas tonight, but
right.
I think I still do. Edmonton missing Kapanen and Nugent Hopkins. Florida, our guy Lusternin is out. Our winner in the playoffs last year on a goal scorer. Kulikov, Barkov, Matthew Tkachuk all out. Barkov done for the year. We knew that. Kings healthy. 1 injury to report there. Minnesota, Tarasenko is day-to-day, so that's going to be key for them. Montreal, fairly healthy. Kirby Dach, though, is listed, and he's going to be out for a while now. We might not see him till after the new year. Nashville, just a trio of injuries. The Devils are completely banged up now. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players hurt.
Wow.
And some of these are longer term, too. I mean, you're seeing January for some of these guys, end of November as well. So, Devils a banged up team right now. Islanders, just 4 injuries. Rangers are good. Ottawa, good. Brady Tkachuk, might see him back sooner than later. Philadelphia, trio of injuries there. Pittsburgh, you said it. They are really banged up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 injuries for them. San Jose, just a trio of injuries. Seattle, who's been decent this year. My man Capo Caco, he's out short term for them, but otherwise good. St. Louis is good. Tampa Bay, let's see, Holmberg, Victor Hedman among the notables there. All short-term injuries for those guys. Austin Matthews will be out for Toronto. So that's good to know. Stolars is out too, the goalie. So they'll be relying on the back end of their goaltending unit there for Toronto, which is probably not a good thing since they're an over team anyway. Utah, just a trio of injuries. Vancouver, 6 injuries. They're missing a goalie as well with Demko. Vegas, Mark Stone, key injury for them. William Karlsson, another key injury. Should get these guys back sooner than later. The Caps missing Dubois, and the Jets missing a key player in Hayden Fleury. He got a concussion, so we'll see when he comes back. All right, so your bagged up teams are Pittsburgh and New Jersey. Those are the teams ravished right now.
All right, so lots of injuries there. Good to know. One of those teams, being New Jersey, is in action tonight. All right, Steve, let's jump into it. And right away, we're going to go with St. Louis traveling to Toronto to take on the Maple Leafs. And if we got the goalies here, Joseph Wall in goal for Toronto. Bennington's going to be in goal for the Blues. And Steve, I don't know, right off the bat here, we get into this game and we look at it, and something is telling me to run for the hills here. Both of these teams trending in the wrong direction. Now, I will say Toronto's much better at home than they are on the road. So if that's the way you want to go with things, maybe we do that. 5.5 is the number, minus 135.
Yeah, I think that's too easy right there.
Yeah.
They're both over teams. Toronto should be at least a little bit better at home. I expect St. Louis to score.
Right.
It's lined like, literally, the Maple Leafs are barely a favorite in this game.
Yeah, minus 115 on the money line as opposed to a minus 105 for the Blues. So, Steve, I think the best play in this menu that I see would be over 5.5 if these two teams are playing to the overs. That's a better number to get to than 6.5. Certainly, I mean, it's only one goal, but I tell you what, that one goal does make all the difference when it comes down to it. So, Steve, let's go with 5.5, St. Louis and Toronto.
I like that call. I'm going to take a chance probably on the St. Louis team goals over, but I think 5.5 is probably the better call.
All right.
Overall at the end of the day. So I may be persuaded to switch. Yes, give me the over in this game. Every game goes over in Toronto. You got to almost ride that until it just
starts dropping
until
off.
You got to peel off. Yeah.
Right. All right. This is an interesting one here. New Jersey is in Tampa Bay taking on the Lightning. 5.5 is your number here. Minus 125 for the over. Plus 105 for the under. The Devils are going to be plus 140 on the road, while Tampa is minus 166 at home. Let's look at the goalies here. I only have Vasilevsky listed, Steve. Do you have a Devil goalie by chance?
I do not.
Okay. So that is to be determined there. And, Steve, I don't know. I'm not super excited about the way Tampa has been playing. I know it's at home. But they have been known so far in the early season at home, especially that I've seen the couple times that I've tried to go with them, to be a little bit of a letdown at the moment. New Jersey, even as banged up as they are, they still have some great talent over there. They're first in their division. I think plus 140 on the money line is what I would take here tonight with the Devils. Like I said, the Lightning just kind of being disappointed right now. So, Steve, give me the Devils plus 140 on the money line.
Interesting. Both of these teams score right about 6 goals a game right now. The Devils have won 2 in a row, even with the injuries, and Tampa has lost 1. But they are 7-3 in their last 10. This is going to be a no play for me, Dave, but I'd have to go opposite of you.
Okay.
And take Tampa Bay here.
Maybe a 60-minute line.
And a bad spot for the Devils more than anything. maybe just a fade of the Devils at the moment as they try to regroup. They've been spectacular this year, though. They've been one of the better surprises, rebounding after 2 very disappointing seasons from their perspective. So you hate to kind of jump in front of a semi-freight train and take Tampa Bay against the Devils, but I think Tampa Bay is the better play at home here tonight. I'll pass for better on the board.
All right. Seattle, they're in Detroit taking on the Red Wings. 5.5 is your number again tonight. How about that? We're starting off with 5.5. Minus 135 for the over, plus 114 for the under. Seattle's going to be plus 140 on the road, minus 166 for the Red Wings. So identical, actually, to the game we just talked about. Let's take a look at the goalies. Decord is going to be in goal. I believe that is going to be for Seattle. Cam Talbot is in goal for Detroit. And I tell you what, Steve, I'm not so sure about this one because Detroit is so hot and cold. I just don't ever know what I'm going to get from them. They have burned me a couple times, team totals. For that reason, I don't know, Steve. I think another road team, Seattle, plus 140 on the money line. I like the way that they're playing a little bit better right now. My trust factor with Detroit is not very high at all. So, Steve, I'll tell you what, give me Seattle plus 140 on the money line.
Yeah, this is a hard one. But looking at the Kraken, only 99 goals scored in their 18 games. So that's right at 5 goals a game. You mentioned that we have 2 decent goaltenders out there tonight, at least experienced.
Right.
So I'll take the under in this game.
I like that call. I really do.
Under 5.5. But I don't like taking under 5.5s. So that would be the lean more than anything. Again, I'll pass for greener pastures. Tough call, but Seattle's been playing really nice. They're a team that's just going to drag you down into the mud, kind of like a Nashville and a Los Angeles Kings type of team is the way they're shaping up right now. You think of them as more of an open scoring team like they have been when they were exciting a couple years back, and then they went slumping. But now it looks like they found their footing on defense here. And like you said, you just can't trust Detroit. A big number to lay on Detroit here. So, again, you might be priced in, like you said, with Seattle on the money line, even a 60-minute line for something like if you wanted to try to get away with one here tonight and take something like the Kraken on the 60-minute line, and then let's rewind that a little bit and take the Blues on the 60-minute line to see if these teams can win somehow in regulation, then you're going to get a nice, decent price. And that would be, let's see here. And maybe I'm trying to talk myself into this actual bet.
That's not the worst call ever, I don't think.
But Seattle and the Blues right now on the 60-minute line is almost 7-1 just for those two.
That's not bad. I would be a little bit weary of St. Louis on the road.
Right.
Just because that's where Toronto seems to be actually winning some games. If you look at their road record, I mean, it's absolutely abysmal. So the home cooking has been at least decent for them, but would be the one thing I'm weary of there. I like the over call myself. But I like the numbers there, Steve. I mean, you know, that's why we play it. It's the NHL. These things happen every night, and we see it. So the Islanders is the next game up. They're in Dallas taking on the Stars. Now we have a 6.5, plus 105 for the over, minus 125 for the under. The Islanders are going to be plus 145 on the money line, while your Stars are minus 175. Goalie props. We have Jake Ottinger versus David Riddick there for New York. And I tell you what, this is a goaltending matchup heavily favored to Jake Ottinger at the moment. I like a goal scorer in this game. We'll get to that when we do our goal scores. But, Steve, I'm not sure. These two teams play to the over. But are the Islanders going to have enough there in Dallas? I'm not so sure.
Who do you have listed for the goalie?
I have Riddick and
Okay.
Ottinger.
Okay.
So I don't know, Steve. I think this is going to be a no play for me, except for on the goal scorers ticket. And I'll touch on that. I'm going to take Jason Robertson there. He has 6 goals in his last 3 games, so he is about as hot as anybody right now. So no play here on the game lines for me, but we will take Jason Robertson and put him in the goal scoring ticket.
Dallas is a banged up team, and they, have been a little bit of a disappointment, but hot lately. So do you want to take them at home here against an Islander team who's just ready to maybe get this long road trip over with? Minus 182 is a big number, even on the 60-minute line for Dallas. And again, they play close games. They're one of those teams who's not covering that puck line too much. Minus 115 on the 60-minute line for Dallas. On the limited card, where I need to find maybe 3 or 4 things, it's going to be hard for me to leave off Dallas over 3.5 goals, I think.
Right.
So just going against Riddick, that's about what he gives up anyway. Dallas is at home. Over 3.5 goals is minus 110. Why do I feel like this is a game that they'll win 3-2?
Oh, man, I could see that. Absolutely.
So it's a lean with the Stars right now. At least their team goals.
All right. I can see it. Next game up, Columbus is in Winnipeg to take on the Jets. Columbus, worth noting, is one of 2 teams playing on a back-to-back tonight. 6.5 is your number. Minus 105 for the over. Minus 115 for the under. The Jackets are going to be plus 145 on the money line, while Winnipeg is minus 175. And if we take a look at the goalies, it's going to be Merzlikins there for the Jackets and Eric Comrie there for Winnipeg.
Yeah.
So no Hellebuck in goal tonight. I'm a little snake bitten right now, Steve, by the Winnipeg Jets. I'm not going to lie.
I'm a snake bitten by the Dallas Stars and the Winnipeg Jets a little bit. Both of these teams who I played on heavily last year to great success. They were fantastic covering their goals last year. Just not doing it this year. It's not like I'm playing tickets on them every night. I mean, I'm watching with a cautious eye from afar. But both of these teams just haven't been super impressive. Now, the Jets, I feel like, have righted the ship a little bit. 11-7 now overall for them. And let's see, in their last 10 games, they are just 5-5. But they're only still allowing, they've only still allowed 50 goals in the 18 games played. But like you said, the backup goaltender tonight too, and Columbus can be sneaky. The problem is with Columbus, they're on the back-to-back, right?
Right. So you got almost a recipe here for an under 6.5.
I think you have it. I think this looks like, I think you just said it, Dave. Under 6.5. Because basically, Columbus scores 6 goals a game anyway. They've scored 60 and they've given up 60. Winnipeg stingier, 59-50. I think this is a lean to the under as well.
I do as well. Let's just hope that you got a tired team and maybe a more defensive effort from Winnipeg to get the job done there. I'm not really interested in any goal scorers here. I'm not really interested in anything else. Let's just kind of take advantage and try and get a under home here. So that's going to be my play, I think. All right, here we go. Calgary's taking on Chicago. Chicago's at home. 5.5 is your number here. Minus 125 for the over. The under is going to be plus 105. Minus 118 for the Flames and minus 102 for the Blackhawks on the money line. And I'm not so sure. I need to take a look here because I don't think that they are, because I don't quite understand this line at the moment. Chicago did not play last night. So now I'm a little bit more puzzled as to why this line would be like this. Let's take a look at the goaltending matchup. Soderblom is going to be in goal for the Hawks. Dustin Wolf in goal for the Flames. And Steve, I don't know, man. I think there's a chance here because I like what I've seen out of Chicago so far. Calgary's the worst team in the league, only with 5 regulation wins so far. I don't see it. I think you could play -1.5 on the puck line for the Hawks at home. I think they're just too much for the Flames right now. So give me -1.5 Blackhawks at home, Steve, on a little bit more of a riskier play.
Both of the goaltenders are good for the Blackhawks. Soderblom, 2.63 goals against the average for him. He's only played 5 games. He's 2-2-1. So 2 losses, 3 losses, 1 in overtime, but still on save percentage of 9.913. He still ranks out in the top half of the goaltenders in the league. Spencer Knight's been better. I like the Blackhawks here, Dave. Like you said, I don't understand this line. I think the Blackhawks still get the general perception of being a bad hockey team.
Right.
And they are at least average and have a chance to be better if they can find some offense, which has been their problem. Now, defense for the Flames, let's take a look at them on their splits for Calgary, which can't be too good because Calgary can't score.
No.
43 goals scored in 20 games. Yikes. That's 2 goals a game. Barely over 2 goals a game. But they've only given up 62. So they've been kind of stingy. Maybe this is an under. Again, another under.
I could see it.
Chicago is a under team as well right now. That's the way that they're trending. The better goaltenders are on Chicago here. I like Bedard. I like the potential that Chicago still has. This is a game that they should win at home still. Is this a 2-1 game, 3-1, something like that for Chicago? So go ahead and give me the Blackhawks in this one. Now, I have an initial ticket with 4 teams to try to get to 4 goals. I'm looking at everything we've been going through. I'm wondering if I need to really zig and zag on all that and just go for more 60-minute lines or money lines and just try to get through this week that way. Give me Chicago. I don't understand the price, like you said, Dave.
Yeah, I like it. I'm not so sure I understand it. I think Chicago at home.
I can get plus 150 on the 60-minute line as well.
See, I like that. If you don't want to get so risky as, they have to win by 2 or more to cover that puck line, Steve, I think that's great to touch on.
This is a hard ticket to root for.
It is.
But this might be the winner. Seattle on the 60-minute line, plus 220. The Blues on the 60-minute line, plus 140. And the Blackhawks on the 60-minute line, plus 150. All that pays a little better than 18-1.
Yeah, that's not the worst thing ever. Really, it's not. All right, Steve, this next game up here, this is going to be a tough one as well. The New York Rangers, they are out west taking on Vegas. 5.5 is your number here, -125 for the over, plus 105 for the under. Rangers are plus 110 on the road, while the Knights are -130 at home. Goalies are going to be Igor Shesterkin in goal for the Rangers and Akira Schmid in goal for Vegas. My initial look into this one, Steve, the Rangers are much better on the road than they are at home. Vegas has not wowed me so far this season. They just really haven't. So I don't know. This is a really tough one for me to handicap. I actually think the Rangers could probably get it done on the road at plus 110. But this being a 10 p.m. puck drop, it's I don't know. I think it's going to be a good game. I might tune in for a little bit. But I think at the end of the day, Steve, this is a tough one for me. I think it's going to end up really being a no play.
I like the under. Schmid is 11th in goals against average, 2.50. He's 7-1-2. Shesterkin's going to bring it to the table tonight.
Oh, yes.
Maybe a little too much partying for the Rangers, too. Give me an under in this game, only because it's almost like it could play out into a playoff type of. I mean, honestly, this is a Stanley Cup matchup of the last couple of years, potentially, if these teams were to reach the final. Both of these teams making deep runs in the playoff. So this is a Stanley Cup caliber type of game, which to me will play under the total here. And I do see a 6.5 on my end, Dave.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, and I know you can move these lines around anyway, and the juice is different. So 6.5 under here, and maybe, we love our unders.
Could it be an under night, under Tuesday night here?
It certainly could be. After a tough weekend of NFL football for everybody, trying to win your money back on something. All right, let me take some hockey over-unders over, right?
Right. We're sitting here on a Tuesday talking NHL unders after a tough NFL weekend. So that's, you know what, Steve? Sometimes that's just how it is.
You can make a case for the dogs in every one of these cases too with the under.
I think
under means a close game. If you wanted to take the Rangers and just try to ride them red hot, let's just see what they pay on the 60-minute line, because you're going to get a good payout on them too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's plus 110 on the money anyway.
Plus 175 on the 60-minute line. If you add them to the Blackhawks, the Blues, and the Kraken, you're now getting 52-1 odds.
I could be talked into that, Steve. Absolutely. Even a little $10 play right there. If that
10 pays 518.
I'm telling you what,
you're
not gonna be mad at that on a Tuesday night, right?
Right. Even for $5 to win 250, it's kind of worth a shot.
Exactly.
$260 is what you'll get back anyway.
All right, we have our last game of the evening. We're flying through here, 8 games. Utah is in San Jose to take on the Sharks. We have a 6.5 here, plus 114 for the over, minus 135 for the under. The Mammoth, they're going to be minus 135 on the money line, favored on the road. Sharks plus 114. So let me see here what the goaltending matchup is going to be. Yaroslav Askarov for the Sharks, and Vitek Vanacek for the Mammoth. I don't like this goaltending matchup at all, Steve. I think now we're playing a game, or we have a game here that we could even play an alt over here. Askarov, I don't think is all that great. We know who Vitek Vanacek is, ex-Capital. He's certainly not best either. Both of these teams have some talent, and even the Sharks at home, they have some goal scorers. I'm looking at a list of goal scorers right here that, believe it or not, we're talking about Utah and San Jose that I could really get behind here. So, Steve, give me that over 6.5.
San Jose has been an over team for sure. Utah has had their up and downs in that regard, but generally they're scoring about 6 goals a game as well. I'd like this better if it wasn't off a back-to-back for Utah.
Right. That is the one problem.
And the fact that they've lost a couple of games now. You got to think that this is a get-right game for them. Let's see. On the puck line here, as I'm jumping to NFL odds already. They're trying to get me to make NFL bets already, Dave.
Well, we got one more day for that.
They are the favorite, Utah, minus 134. I don't think I want them on a 60-minute line. Plus 115 if you do. Only because Utah can score 0 or 1 for you at any given moment, or score 7. There's a lot of variance with these two. I would like to see both of these teams play with 2 days rest.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Because I think we could have a nice, fun game. I'll pass on this.
All right, we got a pass from Steve on the last game of the evening. All right, Steve, you want to look at some futures and then do the box and the goal score, or you want to do it vice versa?
Whatever you want to do, and we'll give out our picks as well officially.
All right, let's look into the divisions here real quick.
Sure.
We'll start in the Atlantic. The leading Boston Bruins, we'll touch on this, are 35-1 to win that division right now. Tampa is still favored, plus 140. Then you have the reigning champs.
So Boston's at the top, and they're 35
and they're 35 to 1.
Okay.
To win that division.
Sign me up for that.
Yeah, I mean, because this is a complete toss-up. So 35-1, I mean, we'd throw that on a ticket anytime.
Right. Jump on that before that number goes the wrong way.
Exactly. So in the Central, Colorado's minus 235. We kind of figured that. The Stars plus 260. Utah's 18-1. A team like Winnipeg is 18-1. Maybe jump on something like that because, we know that's one of the better teams in that division. Then everybody else is just really, really kind of astronomical right there. Anything in the Central?
Let's see. Central-wise, I mean, it would be Stars at plus 390 or nothing right now from me.
All right.
I think the Avalanche probably do win that division.
All right. In the Metro, so we have some interesting numbers here. Minus 150 for the Hurricanes, currently in second place. Your first place, New Jersey Devils, plus 220. Then you have the Rangers at 14-1. You have our last place, Capitals, at 15-1. And then how about this, Steve? The highest odds here, all right, for the team in third place, Pittsburgh Penguins, you're getting 55-1 still for them to win their division.
Wow.
Anything excite you here? I think it kind of should. There are some great numbers in here.
So you're still getting Pittsburgh at 55-1?
Yep.
So I would perhaps, let's see here. Yeah, they're all the way. They're the last favorite.
Yeah.
I see 45-1. So yes, shop around. If you wanted to take Bruins, Penguins, and throw the Avalanche on there right now, $10 wins you 4,300.
I mean, these things happen. I'm just saying, it would be worth a couple dollars anyway, in my mind.
Honestly, I would like to get some extra bankroll because you could talk me into putting $100 down on the Bruins and Avalanche alone to win $3,600.
Yeah, right. I mean, that wouldn't be the worst thing ever.
No.
All right, so Pacific Division, Steve. The Golden Knights are a favorite right now at plus 105. Then you have the Oilers, who just don't look great. I'll say that, plus 275. Then you have the Kings at plus 425. The leading Ducks at 7-1. And then everybody else, I would kind of really have a hard time seeing pulling it off, except for maybe Seattle at 45-1. Pacific Division a little bit tougher, but could I talk you into 7-1 for the Ducks to sustain that?
Yeah, you could. Ducks, Penguins, Bruins. $10 wins you 4,400 right now.
All right.
I would like. It's weird. It's not like they're giving you the best price because
right.
It's like they know what you're up to here, or they're trying to limit your payout because I'm getting the same price if I do the Avalanche and the Ducks. If I switch the Avalanche and the Ducks with Boston and Pittsburgh,
right.
I get the same price.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So play with some numbers on the different books when you do that, guys. Make sure you're getting your full value of what you're betting.
All right, Steve, let's touch into this conference real quick. Then we'll do our goal scorers, penalty box. We'll give some official plays, and then we'll wrap it up and get out of here for puck drop. Now, Steve, if you had to pick somebody in the East right now to win that conference, who's it going to be?
I would take. That's hard.
What do you feel? Just if you had to go,
honestly, I would take the Bruins or the Penguins at 80-1 right now.
So 80-1 for the Bruins, and then 101 for Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
All right.
Right now, that's the way I would play it.
All right, I like it. Well, top four are the Hurricanes, Panthers, Lightning, and Devils. Plus 360 for the Canes, 4-1 for the Panthers, 5-1 for the Lightning, and 7-1 for New Jersey. So the books here really, to me, kind of seem like they think Tampa's going to storm their way back. That's what I'm understanding from these numbers. All right, now, Steve, same question, but in the West.
Give me Colorado at plus 240.
All right, yep, that's fair enough. Your top four there, Colorado. Vegas is at plus 380. Edmonton, 5-1. Dallas, plus 550. Now, the Ducks, I see at 25-1 to win that conference.
You could talk me into playing a Duck ticket.
All right.
Something like the Ducks and the Bruins would be a fun one to try to root for. $10 gets you about 4,000 there. Same with the Penguins.
LA is somebody I think I would look at 13-1 as well.
Check this out, Dave. So, and I'm not sure why this is doing this, but I got the Ducks at 25-1 over here, right?
Right.
If I parlay them to the Bruins at 80-1, I get paid plus 39445.
Interesting.
If I take the Ducks and I put them with the Penguins, who are at 80-1, I get paid plus 43053. So $400, $400 more on the same odds.
Wow.
What does that mean?
Yeah,
It means these books don't pay you the true payouts.
No, they don't.
That's what it does. What it means.
And they're not going to either. All right, Steve. I have my 4 goal scorers for tonight. Who do you have?
Let's see. Go ahead and read me your 4.
All right, I'm going to go with Jesper Bratt for the Devils, plus 225. We're going to go Jason Robinson for the Stars. We touched on how hot he was, plus 125. Connor Bedard, he's about as hot as it gets for the Blackhawks at plus 125 as well. And then we're going to go with a Shark, believe it or not, at home to round off this ticket. Macklin Celebrini, plus 160. Those 3 guys at the bottom here are about as hot as it gets right now. Jesper Bratt being the plus 225 would be kind of the wild card guy in that ticket. But, Steve, these 4 guys who I'm going to play probably for $10 anyway, you could maybe talk me into throwing a 20 on it as well. You're getting 41-1 odds for those 4 guys.
Wow. Give me, and I got to look to what might be the higher scoring games to me, which they're not many. Give me Jordan Kyrou at plus 230 for St. Louis. I'm not sure we're going to get the goals in this game, but if we're going to take the Kraken, give me Jordan Eberle at plus 270. And then give me my man, Andre Burakovsky for the Blackhawks.
I like
at
it.
plus 275.
X-Capital too, Steve.
Yep. $10 wins you $447.
All right, so we're right on the pretty much the same line there with these guys, payout wise.
Yep.
All right, let's throw somebody in the penalty box.
All right.
And you're trying to switch 7 guys. Mike, come on.
You can't do that. That was probably number 10. 2 is broken.
I got 82. Tampa, tripping.
This would be our teams to fade coming up. Who are you going to throw in there, Dave?
All right, Steve. So maybe not for this evening, but in a hole to me. And they're probably going to throw it right back into my face this evening. I can just see it happening. But I'm going to go with Toronto being towards the bottom of the Atlantic and just how bad the start has been. And not only that, Steve, they're not a very good road team at the moment either. This is a team that I think many thought was going to win their division. Like I said, down towards the bottom. That's good enough for me to throw them in the penalty box.
Losers of 5 in a row, Dave.
Yeah.
Are Toronto. Well, if you can't score, you can't win anything. And that fits the bill for a couple of teams. And I'll do a little dually penalty box.
Ooh.
I mean, we've already thrown the Flames in there, so we'll keep them in there until they can start to score goals. 43 goals in 20 games is not going to cut it. But neither is 49 goals in Nashville in your 20 games, averaging under 2.5 goals a game yourself. So pathetic on your end, and you go to the penalty box as well.
All right, Steve, you got some plays ready?
I think so, Dave. And I think I'm going to jump off the St. Louis Blues game. I don't think I want it. They've only scored 53 goals in their 19 games. It's not like they're killing it for me here. So I'm zigging, zagging throughout. Go ahead and on the 60-minute line, I'll stick with Seattle as I plug them in. Let's get a good proper payout here. Seattle plus 220 on the 60-minute line to beat the Red Wings. Give me the 60-minute line for the Chicago Blackhawks, in which I think you can maybe take a puck line too, Dave. You brought that up earlier. But give me plus 150 for the Blackhawks to beat the Flames in regulation. I'll take a shot on the Rangers. I hate to do this.
That's all right, Steve. I'm doing it with you.
The Rangers on the 60-minute line are at plus 175. I get 21-1 odds on all of that. I think that'll be good enough for me for the evening. I do want to take Dallas potentially at home as well, but I'll pass on that.
All right.
I'll pass on the Dallas and Winnipeg temptation tonight. I'll make them have to prove it to me one more time, Dave.
Yeah, I totally understand.
Can we just take the St. Louis Blues Maple Leafs over maybe with this?
I think we could. Man, I tell you what, St. Louis just really, really worries me in that regard.
Yeah, they do. They've given up a ton of goals too. The two bad teams, we got to pass.
I think we just leave that alone. All right, Steve, my 4 plays for tonight, about as risky as it gets. Sometimes it just has to be that way. New Jersey on the money line. We are going to play the Blackhawks minus 1.5. Something just tells me, you're getting plus 220 out of that. I just think you kind of have to do it. Better team at home. We're going to go with the Rangers money line. That is a good road team. At least that's what they're showing us right now. And then I hate to do it with a team on the back-to-back. I usually don't, but I'm going to go against the grain here. Over 6.5 goals, Utah and San Jose.
All right. I like it, Dave.
All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it for us here in the studio. What the puck is going on, NHL Tuesday nights. If you have any tickets, hopefully you found some good information that we were able to help with. Any tickets going on, good luck. And Steve, anything to add?
Just looking at the schedule ahead a little bit. 4 games tomorrow. Our Caps and Oilers are in a good one. Boston and Anaheim, good game tomorrow night as well. Carolina will be in Minnesota tomorrow night. So that's an interesting matchup.
Right.
Thursday, we have a huge slate. I don't know if you saw that or not. But Washington will be home against Montreal. Notable games there. New Jersey will host Florida. Edmonton will be at Tampa. Seattle will be in Chicago. The Rangers will be in Colorado. Dallas will be at Vancouver. We haven't talked much Canucks hockey.
No, we have not.
One of the teams have been playing over the totals. Anaheim will be hosting Ottawa. And the Kings and Sharks, last time they played out, won me a ticket with that over. So I'll be looking to play which should hopefully be a 5.5 in that game over on that Thursday. Whenever you have San Jose against any team that plays kind of under, the over is wide open.
Right. They just pull them to it.
Friday night, we just have 4 games on the slate. Boston will be at the Kings. Minnesota, Pittsburgh, notable there. Carolina, Winnipeg, good game for a Friday.
Yeah, yep.
Saturday, we have a huge slate again. Games all day. 1 and 3:30, your early game. Columbus, Detroit, the Blues, and the Islanders are at 3:30. We got 6 games at 7 o'clock. Look at that. Montreal and Toronto for hockey night in Canada. Edmonton, Florida, New Jersey, Philly, Seattle, Pittsburgh, Tampa at the Capitals on Saturday. Good game there.
That's the hockey fights cancer night, I believe, in that game.
Oh, is it?
And I was actually toying with the idea of maybe going to that game.
Oh, cool. Colorado will be in Nashville. So that's a mismatch on paper for sure. Dallas at Calgary, Vegas and Anaheim. Good game for late night on Saturday.
Absolutely.
Sunday for your NFL, you have games scattered all day. And then your bailout game, keep this in mind. Vancouver hosts Calgary late if you need to come up with some sort of win to get your money back. Maybe the Vancouver team total goals against Calgary, right?
Yeah, that's possible.
Plant the seed for that now. Boston's at San Jose at 8 o'clock. That Vancouver-Boston parlay may be something to take a look at as well. Colorado at Chicago in a good game Sunday night as well. And
I don't reckon we have enough TVs for the Hurricanes and Sabres at 1 o'clock, do we?
right. We have a full slate. Is this right? Monday we have 7 games and just 1 game next Tuesday.
Yeah, well, how about that?
Just Dallas and Edmonton next Tuesday. So we'll take a look at the Wednesday games come next Tuesday more than anything.
That's a huge slate there.
I think it's important to look at the week ahead. Dave, who's your penalty box team?
Toronto.
So Toronto, let's just take a look at their schedule for the week if you want to play against them. The Columbus on Thursday. So maybe Columbus total goals would make sense for sure. At Montreal on Saturday. Now, Montreal's been struggling, but that's probably a good spot for them. And then that's it for Toronto. I had it in Nashville. So Nashville is in Calgary, right? Calgary's at Buffalo tomorrow. So they're going to be on the back-to-back. That'll be good for the Sabres. Calgary and Nashville. Nashville does not play on the heavy Thursday slate, nor does Calgary. Nashville does not play on the Friday slate, nor does Calgary. Nashville at home against Colorado on Saturday. Yep, that's a fade.
Oh, absolutely.
And Dallas is at Calgary. Then Calgary back-to-back again Sunday at Vancouver after they play Dallas. Wow. Pounding Calgary all week long, I would say.
That's what it sounds like.
Yep, that's all I got, Dave.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us this Tuesday. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll bring you some more action just next week.
Next Tuesday night.
Next Tuesday night.
What? Oh yeah, the NFL round robin. Here we go. Week. What are we up to? Week 12
we're
now?
at 12 now. Still in Survivor, Steve. We survived that
Wow.
nasty Packers game.
Sunday morning, 7 o'clock here on the Deep End Broadcasting Network for the round robin, breaking down every angle of every game, praying we don't get the injuries we get last week.
No kidding.
What the puck is going